Like, why is my... All right, bear with me one moment. I'm about to blow my nose real quick. I'm not muting it again. I fucked up. Like, and even before I start, actually, I'm about to go to my stream and make sure I'm live. Because yesterday, or to make sure you guys can hear me, yesterday or the other day, Monday when I streamed, I kept muting the mic. And then there was like 2 times where I muted it for like 20 minutes and didn't notice I was muting it. And then, okay, I'm live, as it should show. Because yesterday, or to make sure you guys can hear me, yesterday. All right, bet. We're coming in clear. Welcome to Gnews. We're halfway through the week. It's Wednesday since the last time I streamed on Monday. The political landscape has completely changed in 48 hours since the last time I streamed. So a lot of shit's happened. So we're going to get to that today in Guarantee News. But we're going to start this episode the same way we start off every episode. Usually it's a K-Ferg song, but I'm going to get a little spicy today. No pause. I'm going to get a little spicy today. An unreleased Drake song came out yesterday. So I think I might be in a good place to try to play that bitch because it's unreleased. So I don't think the stream should go off. We're going to check. If it goes off, it goes off. We'll go from there. But we're going to start the stream off today listening to this new Drake song. I've only listened to it once. Let's do that, and then we'll get into Guarantee News.
Hey. Watching the moves, playing it close. SOD, super soul. Rainy days, his and hers, matching coat. Jet so big, feel like a boat, staying afloat. I'm watching the moves, playing it close. SOD, super soul. She was a hoe, but I ain't gon' judge, cause that was way before. I know. Cleopatra at the pyramid tonight. Cinderella Benz, I got bucket seats inside. Roll a backwood with my enemies inside. Hey, okay, yeah. WhatsApp attachment, first time I seen you naked. I didn't say Santorini, but you tasting faded. Say you coming home and give me that goodness gracious. Watching the moves and playing it close. SOD, super soul. Rainy days, his and hers, matching coat. On a jet, it feel like a boat, staying afloat. Yeah. I'm watching the moves and playing it close. SOD, super soul. She was a hoe, but I ain't gon' judge, cause that was way before.
Your little brother look up to me like I'm his only feeling. Backseat, backstroke. 20 times Bottega, you can get what you want. 20 times Balenci, you can have it all. I don't ask no questions about who else involved. Get rid of your troubles, problem solved. All I sip is codeine, clean raw. I been doing work for these bitches long time. She been riding for too long, throw my games out. I could 360 a bitch, I could turn her up. I could turn this bitch up, turn this shit up. Love it when you shot it down, it's gracious, gracious, come on. How many times taking pictures on my whip? How many times tryna let folks know what it is? Ain't no way he love you, he ain't like your wrist.
This is messing with my train of thought. That's unreleased Drake. What is that? Take Care. That must be the guy whose Twitter this is. No, it's the same. New York, Super Soaked by Drake and Lil Yachty. I don't. It's not good. It's very mid. And so I'm not gonna talk about this for much. Yeah, no. I was really hoping that this would be good. That Drake, I don't know. I've been a Drake fan my whole life. I thought, unreleased song It was on Kaisenet's stream. Thought it would be good. It's mid. Absolute mid. I was gonna like that was gonna be my song to get me excited for the stream, but that shit kind of actually just pissed me off. I'm not gonna lie. I'd actually rather listen to the K-Ferg 500 song that I'm about to play to start the stream out. You guys know, if you've watched any Guaranteed News, it starts off with a song, and it's always K-Ferg 500 because it doesn't stop the live, to be honest, and because that's my name. I'm not gonna lie. Both. It's a little bit of both. But I tried to be a little fancy today. Play an unreleased Drake. Yeah, that shit was bad. I'm kind of pissed about that shit, honestly. I'm not gonna lie. That was pretty bad. Yeah, bro, Drake is probably done, bro. Yeah. We're gonna play something. I want to play something that's gonna get me lit. Fuck it. We're not gonna do too much. Let's get to the show because I have a great show for you guys. So let's just do K-Ferg 500. Probably not even gonna play the whole thing. We just got to do Guaranteed News the same way. It's a little bit of it's a strategy to it. If you don't want to watch, come back in like 2 minutes.
Use your head if we motherfucking losing, man. Cream King STL game, man. You know how we rock it, man. Boy, you smoking on that same shit that got Chris Rock. Drink cocaine with a drum, this bitch sound like Kid Rock. Bet these niggas go and copy this, them niggas Xerox. I could move, we still on his ass, we got him gridlocked. One bitch, I ain't picky. Fuck me till I'm dizzy. My bitch catch another op, she gon' get some new Rickies. R.I.P. my young boy, that shit still got me pissy. My nephew won't even play my ops, he said it sound too kitty. Bitch want me to fuck with her, but she be acting ditzy. He thought it was clean, I'm still serving cut, no kizzy. Full of looking clean as hell, can't forget that blicky. Chop it shoot like Jimmy, I ain't even had no simi. Every beat shit automatic, supercharged like Hemi. Told my little bitch walkie only, she can keep that Henny. Virgo, he got Trump money, gave myself a stimmy. Told my bitch don't want hibachi, she can keep the bennies. Get them chopped like sushi rolls, play them hoes like movie roles. That boy, he got baby money, bankroll like a 2-year-old. This bitch know she fine as hell, came through built like Ruby Rose. 100K times 10, nigga, I'm gon' need a few of those. Pint of red, it look like a bottle of some hot sauce. All these sticks, thought that we was finna go to top off. Treat him like a thigh shirt, get that nigga cropped off. He said he gon' touch me, see how ain't shit popped off. LOL, I know folks don't like me. Pushing off these pussy niggas really do excite me. Shawty know I'm rude as hell, but somehow she still like me. She know I ain't pussy and ain't that nigga like me.
All right.
When we're back,
Let's get serious. Now let's start the show officially. All right. Welcome to Guaranteed News. It is July 24th on a Wednesday. Since I last streamed, Kamala Harris has officially become the Democratic nominee. So the Democrats did not argue about who it should be. They completely came together. Whether you thought they would or not, I won't lie. I thought it's possible that they wouldn't. But now people are talking a shit about the fact that they came together so quickly and whether or not Kamala deserves it. There was J.D. Vance had his first speech in Ohio, his hometown, or his first rally by himself without Big Daddy Trump. What else? Kamala gave her first rally in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, the same place where the RNC happened. And now we're seeing a whole bunch of memes and saying Kamala can get young people. Harris has been... Everybody in the Democrats has gone for Harris, but the Republicans are starting to talk shit and talk a lot about her and which side should you fall on and how do you feel and how should you feel about Kamala. I'm going to go through some policies. Secret Service director, she resigned after being in Congress and getting the shit. Just basically getting hella shit talked about her, getting grilled in front of Congress. It's been a lot that happened in literally, I guess, like, barely 48 hours since I've streamed. But today we're going to talk about something that hasn't been getting reported on. Something that is just something crazy. An Illinois woman named Sonia Massey was killed by police, murdered in her own home. In the video that was all caught on police body cam footage, recently just came out. I think this happened about 2 weeks ago, but with everything that's going on in politics, with everything that's going on in the world right now, and we're in an election, and Guaranteed News has pretty much been a political show. As soon as I saw this, I feel like I had to cover it. There's no way that I couldn't start the show off with this. I'm not going to give any opinions right now. I'm just going to show a couple videos just because, again, Guaranteed News is supposed to just be news. So I'm just going to show you guys this, and whatever you make of it, you can make of it. I'll probably end up giving some opinions, but this is the, yeah. Body cam footage released Monday shows the shocking moments when Sonia Massey was fatally shot in the face by a deputy after she called 911 for help. Violence against black women must stop. We must demand full justice for Sonia Massey. Being completely upfront, Ben Crump attorney. This is the attorney that is representing her family. So yeah, let's watch this video. Every time one of these videos come out, there's a million different opinions. To me, kind of surprising, but let's just watch the video. And again, you're going to see a woman die in this video, so trigger warning. Yeah, but yeah. Let's watch it.
Shocking body camera video released today shows the deadly police shooting of Sonia Massey. The mother of two called 911 just before 1 a.m. because of a possible prowler, only to be shot by a deputy inside her own Illinois home. The now former deputy faces 3 counts of first-degree murder. CBS's Roxana Saberi has the video that shows the chaotic moments, and we do want to warn you that it is hard to watch.
The body camera video reveals the events leading up to the horrific scene.
What took you so long to answer the door?
Oh, I was trying to put on some clothes, sir. I'm sorry.
You doing all right mentally?
Yes.
Sure?
My medicine and stuff.
All right. Okay.
I love y'all. Thank y'all.
Inside the home, Sangamon County Sheriff's Deputy Sean Grayson can be heard asking Sonia Massey to check on the stove.
We don't need a fire while we're here.
Within seconds, things become tense.
Where you going?
Huh?
Where you going?
Away from your hot steaming water.
Away from my hot steaming water?
Yeah.
Oh, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
Huh?
I rebuke you in the name of
Nah, I swear to God, I'll shoot you right in your face.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Drop it.
Massey starts to set down the pot and apologizes. Grayson fires 3 times, striking her in the face.
Headshot wound to female, 1078.
Prosecutors say Grayson's partner tried to give the 36-year-old first aid, even though Grayson discouraged him.
I'm gonna go get my kit. No, you're done. You can go get it, but that's a headshot.
Civil rights attorney Benjamin Crump is representing Massey's family.
Sonia needed a helping hand, but she got a shot to the face by the police.
James Wilburn is
Okay, I'm not going to get into this. I mean, I'm sorry for their loss, but I'm not going to get in this just because of time's sake. And before I give any opinions, there's another video that I have. So this is breaking body cam footage of the aftermath of Sonia Massey. So this is right after she got shot.
She said she was going to rebuke me in the name of Jesus and came out with boiling water. That's what all this is. I was standing right here.
All right.
And that's where he's landed.
What do y'all need from us?
Just nothing right now. Just hang out there for me. Thank you.
I need cranes and put them around the house if you guys can. But other than that, that's I think it.
Anything else suspect?
Me.
I didn't know what happened.
You got any questions?
Yeah, I'm good. This fucking bitch is crazy.
Who's got tape?
I think I got a roll.
I got some coming up.
All right. I'm not gonna supersize analysis for this because I feel like it's not needed. So killed her for absolutely no reason. There's no reason. I rebuke you in the name. At first it looked like everything was cool. Being completely front up, it looks like there may be something mentally wrong with her, a problem that she was having, but that is no excuse, especially since she was so far away. It doesn't even look like she did anything. It looks, or from what I've read, she called the police to her home because she was worried about a potential prowler or intruder that would be going into her house, and then this happened. Everything seems fine. The guy tells her to go to the, and I'm not going to keep playing it back over and over again. The police officer that shoots her asks her to go to the Go to the stove, turn off the water, so we don't want a fire in here. Then she has the boiling water, and then she says, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus," which is like weird. I will be honest, it's weird. And then he pulls his gun out. You would think her saying, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus," is gonna mean that like he's gonna die. Like that rebuke is like a bullet or a gun. The way he pulls his gun out and the energy completely shifts. It's weird. He says, "Put down the boiling water," spoiling water, and then immediately proceeds to shoot her like at least 3 times. I think 3 or 5 times. The guy with him says that, yep, I'm going to go get the first aid kit. He says, don't get it. She's already dead. You can go get it if you want, but whatever. And then afterwards, he shows completely no remorse, no sadness, doesn't even look surprised. This is why people don't trust the cops. This is why the cops are scary. This happened weeks ago, and you're just now finding out. I get that. I get the whole thing. Yeah, you can't tell people right away. You have to investigate stuff. I get all that mumbo jumbo bullshit. But it's like, what do you want to say about this? Like, I'm 24 years and I've lived in America my entire life. I can't say this surprises me, but I have to talk about it. It's absolutely disgusting. It's absolutely sad. I don't even have confidence of what will happen to this guy. I mean, probably get a resignation. He probably won't get the jail time for life that he deserves for killing this woman. You can see afterwards all the people looking at him in disgust. I mean, I don't really know. Now let's read this a little bit. This is the guy, and let me see his name. This is the guy that killed her. This is the police officer. Fuck this guy. Obviously. Guarantee News is supposed to be objective, so I know there's the whole we love the cops and the cops are important. They protect people. Stressful job. I don't know how you even would want to be attached to an argument like that with something like this, but I guarantee there's people who will. And then I'm just gonna read this, and then we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on because this is just sad, and we've seen this all before. I just have to report on it. So, all right. Shot in the face by Sangamon County Sheriff's Deputy Sean Grayson, who pled not guilty to first-degree murder and other charges. He's held in jail waiting trial, of course. So she called 911 on July 6th to report a suspected prowler outside her Springfield, Illinois home. Grayson shot Massey in the face over a pot of water in her home. The video shows deputies searching Massey's property before entering her home. Inside, Massey turned off a pot on the stove at Grayson's request. Grayson then threatened and shot Massey, who was holding the pot. Grayson did not activate his body camera until after firing the shots. He allegedly advised his partner not to give medical aid due to the severity of Massey's injuries. The other deputy provided emergency assistance until medical professionals arrived. Family members claim they were misled about who shot Massey, initially being told it might have been a neighbor or self-inflicted. They learned the truth from news reports. The family demands a thorough investigation and stiff punishment for Grayson. So just watching the video, from what I've seen, just quick analysis, I can see something coming out about her potentially having mental problems, trying to paint her in a bad light. It's what they do. It's what happens. This is, it's not surprising. Absolutely disgusting. I wish I could say I had faith that his case, that he'll go to jail and get the justice he deserves. And I wish I could say I have faith that how this woman is going to be portrayed and that they're not going to make I don't know. You live in a world where a police officer can feel threatened by just about anything you do and kill you. The people that are supposed to protect you, and if they kill you, there's a pretty good chance that through our justice system and our courts that they can get away with it off the basis of being a police officer and off the basis of being afraid or not knowing what's going to happen. And I think with a lot of cases with this, I mean, you can't have that conversation of, why don't you listen to the police? What are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. But I feel like this one, and I feel like a lot of them are like this, and it still happens, but this one is disgusting. This one, I don't see how you do it. But we'll see. Rest in peace to Sonya Massey. Blessings and prayers to all her family. And just be safe out there. And just think about, when things like this happen, I can tell you, I've lived in America my whole life, of course. These things have happened no matter who the president is. So I'll say that, if all the talk about being president and all the talk about who it is and everyone trying to get you to vote, this is something with America that I don't know. I've been seeing these things since I was alive. They were happening since before I was alive. It never gets easier to see. It's just sad. It's just a sad way to start the stream. It's a sad way to do this, but you have to do it this way. So Yeah, I'll move on now. Phone's off. Fuck, I keep doing that. Shit. My microphone's off, isn't it?
Yeah, we can't hear you.
All right, fuck, I just turned it back on. Let me know if you can start hearing in like 2 seconds.
All right.
Fuck me, bro. My bad, boys. All right, shout out. And fucking, this shit sucks because I can't even tell what the fuck. I can't even see anything. Oh, can't hear you. There it goes. All right, shout out to the people watching my stream right now. You guys are the real MVPs. I probably would have streamed for like 20 minutes without knowing I got to do that. All right, let's just go quick takes. Quick take. Basically, what I just said is, since I streamed on Monday, the Democratic delegates have basically all came out and said they're going to support Kamala. And since that's happened, what's going on the Republican side is, now that Kamala is out, they're saying, okay, did she earn it, or was this done in like the back rooms of the Democratic Party, where the American people didn't have a voice, and they just pretty much gave it to Kamala. And why the Democrats, their main thing against Donald Trump, whether it was Biden or now Kamala, is that Donald Trump is a threat to democracy. And now the Republicans are saying, you just made this woman your Democratic nominee for pretty much no fucking reason. And that's a threat to democracy, right? So there's that going on both sides. But just being honest, in my opinion, if you're gonna be, and I'm trying to just quick go through what I was just doing, but just in my opinion, if you're of the mindset as far as being a Democrat that you want to kick out Joe Biden, and you didn't want it to be Kamala Harris, as a Democrat, you probably had like some own personal bullshit going on. You wanted to win. It was probably a House representative wanting to win their specific district that had their own things or wanting their own political career. So that's gone. All the people, Nancy Pelosi, George Clooney, who I talked about a couple weeks ago, gives millions of dollars to Democrats. I didn't know that, but he does. All those people came out and supported Kamala. And I think for the Democrats, that's the right thing to do and the only thing to do, because if you were going to try to do that open shit where you have the whatever that Democratic guy was talking about, where you poll and get 4 Democrats and have them all talk, that was bullshit. That wasn't gonna, you don't have the time for that. Good idea, wrong moment, wrong time. And if they had done that, that would have helped the Republicans. Like, let's just be honest. If they had tried to do this shit, to be fair, the right way, because that's the way it should have been done. Let me stay with me here. If they had done this shit the right way, it would have been bad for the Democrats and better for the Republicans, because it just would have continued to make the Democrats look like they're arguing and stupid. Regardless of how you feel about Kamala, it's objective to say that the Democrats saying they want Joe Biden out and immediately bringing Kamala in was the only way to bring Joe Biden out. So that, with the Democrats, they did it in that one regard. Now, ever since Kamala has been, the next question is, who is Kamala? What are her policies and what does she thinks? Now, there's 2 places I could take the episode, and let me make sure my microphone's on. Okay, it definitely is. There's 2 places I could take the show right now. I'm going to cover both. I could go, J.D. Vance had his rally in Ohio. Kamala had her first rally. We can compare the 2. Obviously, they're not, it's president nominee versus vice president, but you can compare, you can get some of Trump from J.D. Vance, and we can talk about that. Or I have an article about Kamala's policies and everything, and we can kind of go into that. I think I'm going to do the policies first. And then ever since I'm trying to find it. Ever since Kamala came out, Republicans have been doing their thing. I said, and this was like AOC had a stream about this, that I'm about to play this video from CNN. Speaker Johnson isn't happy about Biden dropping out, suggests the Republicans will mount legal challenges to try to stop the VP Harris from becoming the nominee. Like, this is, AOC was saying this on Friday in her stream, and I said on Monday, like, if they kick Joe Biden, I said this on Friday before Joe Biden officially left. If they kick Joe Biden out, there's going to be problems, and this is one of them. So it's already started. Now, I will say, if I knew this in my little like room in Indianapolis, I guarantee you every Democrat that was doing this knew this, so they probably have a plan. But, and even saying this, I don't want to show this 20-second video, but I'll show it just because I feel like it's
there are impediments to just switching someone out like that. 14 million people went through the process and chose this nominee, Joe Biden. Now a handful of people have gotten together and decided he's no longer suitable. That's not how this system works. They are violating democratic principles. And I think that's a real problem, and I think there'll be a lot said about that in the days ahead.
Fair enough. And I know this is CNN. I know I've been talking shit about CNN. I watch everything. So the clips come from where the clips come from. There's that conversation again of this isn't democratic. This was done in the back, quiet, dirty rooms of the Democratic Party, making weird phone calls and not letting the American people. I won't say that's not true, but I will also say that's this is strategy. You no other choice, because if the other option that Republicans are saying they wanted, and that some Democratic or some political pundits are saying they wanted, the other option would have just been more madness and better news story, better for me as someone who wants journalists and drama. But like, no, it just would have looked way worse. And then here's this video, and I think this will lead me into, I think, the conversation of Kamala, where there's unfair criticisms and there's fair criticisms. Immigration, putting her time as the district attorney of San Francisco, and her time as like the whole state of California. I can't think of the name right now, but she was like over completely California. Like her time as a lawyer, her policies or lack thereof, we'll get to that. Like, all of these are unfair or fair criticisms of Kamala, and I'm going to get into them today, and I'm going to read them. But there's the unfair criticisms too, that you have to be she doesn't deserve it. Maybe she doesn't deserve to get the nomination, but she deserves to be here, right? Like, she's been in politics since 2000, and not in politics, but she's 2004 Attorney General. She made her way up. She is deserving of she's not deserving of the way she got the vice president, but the work that she's done in the years she's put into politics, you can't say she's undeserving. Making fun of her looks, making fun of her laugh, making fun of her, I mean, dog whistles, which is, be honest, just dog whistles for her being a black woman. Like, those obviously aren't realistic and fair criticisms, but they're going to be criticisms that people lean on and people use. And the people who get most of their news on Twitter and from TikTok, those are going to be views that they argue for. I would say that's not smart, but again, and this is one of them.
Biden said, first off, he said he's going to hire a black female for vice president, and that he just skipped over. What about white
and
female?
This is House Representative Tim Burchett.
So what about any other group? Just when you go down that route, you take mediocrity, and that's what they have right now as a vice president.
Are you suggesting she was a DEI hire?
100%. She was a DEI hire. He said he was going to hire, and she didn't. Her record is abysmal at best.
Mediocre, I guess, if you want to say that. That's not crazy, but just like, bro, calling her a DEI hire is just so fucking funny, because it's just funny. I'm not gonna get into analysis of that. So yeah, I'm gonna move on. Let's look at Kamala's policies, and let me record this so I can make sure I put the clip on it today. This is a Time article. I haven't done articles lately, but I think this is a good one. Let me start recording so I can make sure I can make the clips for this. All right. Here on Guarantee News, I'm going to be fair. I haven't even really read this article yet, so I'm not prepared as much, but I'm only going to talk about this. What is it? We're at 31 minutes. I'm only going to talk about this until 40 minutes, 9 minutes. So let's go. Let's look at her policies. View on abortion, the economy, and more. Okay, she's leading. We don't have to read that. Okay. Criticized for having few firm ideological convictions, she is largely seen as a moderate Democrat. A lot of people would call her very progressive on the other side, so I guess that's just about how much you trust that. Okay, and get that out of the way. Harris's long record in public office, from being a San Francisco district attorney. Let's move on. All right, so abortion. So this covers abortion, AI, China, climate change, crime, gun control, economy, taxes, inflation, immigration, Israel, Hamas, LGBT. This is a lot. Ukraine war. All right, let's just skip to what I know people care about. All right. Immigration, right off the bat. So let's go through this. Biden in 2021 had deputized Harris to oversee and solve the root causes of migration from Latin American countries. Republicans mistakenly called her the border czar because of this appointment. Republicans do a good job of making funny jokes. They do be funny. I'm not going to lie about that. In 2021, speaking alongside then Guatemalan President Alejandro Giammattei, Harris said, sorry about that name, I want to be clear to folks in this region who are thinking about making that dangerous trek to the United States-Mexico border. Do not come. Do not come. The United States will continue to enforce our laws and secure our border. The Biden-Harris administration continues to use a Trump-era rule to turn back most migrant adults. That approach has not sat well with Democrats and migrant right groups, which advocated the right of migrants to seek asylum in the U.S. In March, she announced over $1 billion to respond to the causes of migration and create economic opportunities in Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador. Okay, so she's giving money to make their countries better so they don't want to come to America. That seems logical. Now, I'm not going to say, I'm doing this in the middle of reading this. I don't think they're quite accurately describing maybe how bad immigration is in the country right now and maybe like what's happened under them. I'm not feeling that as much as I thought I would. Pause. Harris also backed a bipartisan border security deal aimed at reducing border crossing. The bill has been rejected twice this year amid Republican opposition and Democratic divisions. Overall, and again, let's get into this because I'm also with these. I'm going to go in. I should have said this before. I'm going to go into like how I think about the articles doing it, give some analysis and how important this policy is in my mind of voting. Immigration. I live in Indiana. Not that important to me. I can say right off the bat, no, I'm not going to say that. But that's not that important to me. And I think this article this piece doesn't do a good job of describing maybe how bad they did with immigration. So if this continues to happen, I'm going to get an idea of who the person that wrote this article feels. I mean, this is pretty much saying she's trying. She's trying. This is what I got from this. I will say, with Kamala Harris, being honest, if immigration is a big thing for you, seeing what Biden has done, seeing, she oversaw this, you probably won't like Kamala. Immigration and Kamala, she's probably not gonna do the best. Like when Trump's saying he's gonna kick them out, he's not lying about that. So okay, I'm trying to be objective here. Israel, I care about that one, but we're getting to it. LGBTQ rights. I don't even think that. We don't need to read that. Economy, taxes, and inflation. This is the one, honestly, that means the most to me. I'm 24 years old. I won't lie. I still live with my parents. I could have a better job, but basically I want to know if you're going to make it easier for me, my friends, and the people around me to buy houses, to be successful, to have a job, and not like have to have a side hustle. Like, you know, that is it going to be easier to buy shit, easier to buy gas for the car, and is it going to be easier for me to buy a home, apartment? That's a big one. So let's read this. Harris has vigorously champion assistance to low and middle income Americans. As a senator, she introduced the Lift the Middle Class Act, which proposed tax credits of $3,000 per person for most middle and working class Americans. She was an early proponent of universal health care and forgiving student debt. We're at 35 minutes. I'm not going to go past 40. As vice president, she supported the 2022 Inflation Reduction Act and recently announced a series of measures to make housing more affordable. In 2020, Harris was one of the few senators who voted against. Okay. This is a lot of shit that they said they did. I don't know how, Harris has kickstarted in April an economic opportunity tour across the country, has touted the Biden administration's record on key economic issues, including supporting small businesses, job creation, infrastructural investment, healthcare accessibility, and erasing student loan debt. Student loan debt is an important one for me. Even just from reading this, the only one that I'm truly like, okay, I can believe they did something, and I'm trying to be honest right here, is erasing student loan debt. That's important to me. I know Trump's not doing that. That is important to me because I have student loan debt. Not a lot, but I want to get rid of it. This is the thing. The economy is so hard, and I got to do more research, but it's so hard for me to really get a gauge because we went through COVID. And that's another thing where you could say Trump's presidency is hard to get a gauge because we had a fucking pandemic. Then you come out of the pandemic. We're only 3 or 4 years out. So having a presidency and getting the economy at that time is bad. I know this. As far as taxes, when Donald Trump and them are saying that they're gonna lower taxes 10 times, they keep saying that. That's one of their big talking points. I'll get to that in the J.D. Vance quote, but that's obviously not true. I trust when it comes for these things, economy, taxes, and inflation. I really truly believe if you're not making $300,000 I just read something that said people who make $200,000 a year feel like they're living check to check. I really believe I have to say this because I know how bad the economy now, and I'm going to get a better article because this is kind of mid. I do believe that if you are a middle class person who is wanting to just have a job and maybe have a family and have fun on the weekends and just be a normal American, I do believe Kamala is your best way to go, especially if you're within my age by 4 years. Like if you're 20 to 28, 30, and you're not rich, or I guess making over 300, 400,000 a year. So I would say I would trust Kamala. This article doesn't make me want to do it though anymore. I'm just going off of other things that I've seen. Gun control, crime. Okay, this is important. This is kind of important to me. Early on in her career, Harris developed a tough on crime reputation as district attorney in California. Maybe Republicans like that, right? I don't know. Having boasted about raising conviction rates, she also supported a controversial anti-truancy program that prosecuted the parents of kids who are missing school who disproportionately affected families of color. That's where that conversation from black people coming in where she put a bunch of niggas in jail. She's a black woman that hates black men. I'm not going to get into the article. I read it. Do a little bit of research, bro. She was DA for like 8 years. And it wasn't that bad as they make it seem. That's a fact. That is a fact. The whole Kamala put hella black men in jail. I don't want to hear that. I did it. It wasn't nearly. The numbers aren't nearly as bad if you do a Google search as they made it seem. But okay. Harris later tried to steer her reputation into one of a progressive prosecutor. This is going to be the last one I look at before becoming the vice president. She had called for an investigation into police shootings and oppositions to the death penalty, along with a notable acknowledgement of the racial inequities undergirding the criminal justice system. My entire career has been spent. This article is mid. I'm moving on. I'm moving on to the bet. I could have done something and put something better together than this. But these are the policies, I guess. I'll say this for this article, and I'm going to look into and do this in maybe a video better, but these are the policies that you need to look into, I would say, to decide. Abortion. And I'll just, you know what? I could do better than this of just what I know. Abortion. If you care about abortion and you want people to be able to do abortion, you probably shouldn't vote Republican. Fucking duh. Artificial intelligence. This is something that is going to be specific to Kamala and where I'd have to research more. I would say artificial intelligence, there needs to be some laws to it, but people who use artificial intelligence or maybe have small businesses would not want these laws and would want it to grow. So that's kind of a, what do you work in? You know what I'm saying? China, there needs to be something done about China. Being objective. The China situation, all situations with other countries, I can lean more towards Trump. I'm not gonna lie. China, okay, I don't know how, just being honest, I don't know like what Harris is gonna, yeah. Climate change. Again, every single time you watch a Donald Trump or now JD Vance speech for 20 minutes, you're gonna hear dig, dig, dig. Antarctica, there's oil, and if you did, we're going to bring that back to America. It's going to bring jobs back to us. The oil economy, they say they're going to have their climate change things, but they're going to dig. They're going to get oil. This is kind of like climate change is a very nuanced conversation because you can just like the Green New Deal, you can do all this, but then it takes away jobs. It takes away money. Like that's nuanced. That's kind of one of those things where you have to really, again, do your own research. I mean, I would say that's one of those things where they need to come together because you can't just dig. Like when they're saying all that shit in the Republican rallies and everyone's just screaming, like, no, like there actually is climate change and there actually is a problem. And if you care about like maybe your kids potentially being able to live in the world, you shouldn't just dig. But then at the same time, you can't just be too over the left with that. But I'd say overall, if you're not like a big oil person or if you're not rich as fuck, and you are like a regular person that doesn't like that it's hot as fuck every day, I can't do anything off that, so give me more. Pause. Bro, you guys are comment, bro. Comment. I can't. Okay. My friends are watching this. I appreciate you guys watching. I'm gonna not lie because it seems like the people watching are all, I'm not gonna say their names. I'm not ignoring you guys. He said, "Oh, never." Okay, JD Vance literally. Look, this is what I've. Look up JD Vance's thoughts on abortion. One of the main reasons Roe v. Wade was overturned was because JD Vance, not before he was a senator, because he was a senator, or was it why he was a senator? I don't know. But he was one of the main people like pushing like the week trimesters thing, like pushing that bitch up like past 6 weeks, or not past, before 6 weeks. Like Trump may not. JD Vance probably wants, I'm not going to lie, he wants abortion gone all the way, and he's on Trump's ticket. So the same way that everyone's going to put Biden, like the ticket matters, the same way everybody's going to put the way that Biden's policies on Kamala, obviously, which they should. You know, I'm going to kind of connect JD Vance's comments and stuff to Trump because Trump picked him, and you know Trump's not picking nobody so I'm unfair, but that was just something that I read. Again, I'm making an announcement to my friends who are watching this. Thank you so much for watching. I cannot look at this and focus on the show. And I'm 43 minutes past. I'm going to keep going. Climate change. I mean, yeah. Again. Crime. You know, that's an interesting one. And I could talk about that for 10 minutes. I'm going to skip it. Gun control. I mean, again, that's how you feel. There needs to be stricter gun laws. You can't take everyone's gun away. So many of these are so nuanced, like where you could go on both sides. Where honestly, I just want to be in the middle, because again, my biggest one is how easy it's going to be for me to buy a house, to buy products, to be a consumer, and a part of me is to be a business owner and to grow a business. The latter one is probably a Republican, I won't lie, but the owning a home. And again, I think I saw something said like 300,000. Again, look it up. I literally just saw multiple things saying that people who make 200,000 feel like, I don't know what state they live in because that does matter, but people making 200,000 are feeling like they're not able to live comfortably, or they're living check to check. Also, if you guys are gonna talk shit, can you just do it in the comments so that I can actually address you guys and stop being so like, come on, comment on my shit. Pause. All right, we already went through that. We already went through that. Israel-Hamas war. This is important to me. I'm not even gonna be funny about it. This is a Republican thing. If you want this, if you want however it's gonna end, if you want this shit to be wrapped up and you don't want all this, I do think that's a Republican thing. I'm not gonna lie about that. LGBTQ rights. I don't want to be mean. I don't care. Like this is the thing about the LGBTQ rights. I don't care. So it's like caring on, and it's not to be mean like LGBTQ people, but like if you're caring on the side of like, oh, like why do they have rights and all this stuff, I just kind of don't get it. Maybe I could get that explained, but like to me, like, all right, let them niggas have rights. Teaching transgender stuff in school and everything, that is something where I think we need to get into a conversation about that. But the thing about that also frustrates me with Republicans is JD Vance literally just did it. They lump in, their favorite word is DEI. They lump in like transgender rights and everything with like teaching about America's history and like Black history. They lump those in together. Like they're always a talking point where it's like they're trying to teach our kids DEI and transgender rights and what's a boy and a girl, and they lump those two things in together. So that's like one reason where it's like, I get why they're doing it for their base, but as like a Black man that's not gay, and it's just like, why do you lump those two together? But I'm talking about this too long. LGBTQ rights, I don't care. So that's going to make me like, the Democrats trying to do things for them isn't going to make me not vote Democrat. And I don't dislike all of these laws so much where I'm like, I won't vote. Or I'm going to be like a Republican. Like, oh, they're trying to stop all these laws. Like, this is important to me. Like, no, it's the silencing or whatever it is of LGBTQ people is not like a thing that needs to be done. Ukraine, all these wars. Like I said this at the beginning, Trump. So I would say policy aside, just going through this, it's pretty close from what I feel, but I feel like I'm leaning more towards Kamala. I'll do some more research and I reserve the right to be wrong, but I'm leaning more towards Kamala. All right, so let's get into the rallies. JD Vance and Kamala Harris both had rallies this week. JD Vance had his rally in Ohio, and I think I'm going to start with that. JD Vance had his first rally alone in his hometown of, I don't fucking know where, Ohio. Not even going to try to guess. I think it starts with a G. We'll see it here when I pull this video up. And Kamala had her first one in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, which is now, I guess, a big swing state, which is where the Republican National Convention was held. And it feels like a month when that happened ago. When that happened, Republicans were fucking lit. They had everybody on that bitch. But let's see. What's liked videos? I think it should be in liked videos. All right. I took notes on this, too. I watched this live. I took notes on this. Let me get my notes up. So let me see what's still happening. Keep it in the... You guys fucking suck, bro. All this shit. I feel like I'm going to say, knowing that you guys see me on camera and you're literally flooding my phones, my bitch-ass friends. I don't have a YouTube account, so it won't let me... you have a Gmail. Get a Gmail. Subscribe to You guys are fucking up the flow of the show. But I appreciate you watching. I'm not looking at my phone, and I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm not reading over all this. After I do a show, I like chill for like 30 minutes. Okay. I'll let this rock for a little bit. Well, let me get to the point where the stream starts. Okay. When JD Vance was first picked and I looked into him, I thought he was a good running mate for Trump because I think that he was going to bring a level of professionalism and a level of like what I like to call boring politics, which is how politics should be. Like, you're talking about policy. You're talking about what you're going to do. You're talking to the people. Like, you're not like making like Twitter quotes and you're not trying to be for show, which is what politics has turned in on both sides. JD Vance like gave me that impression that he's going to say the Trump things and everything, but he's going to be more professional and button up, but still speak directly to Trump's base, which is a good thing because Trump needs that. I mean, everybody loves the people who love Trump. They all love Trump because he's Trump, the way he speaks, the way he's a showman, the way that, you like the policy and too, but you really like the clips and everything and how he's able to be in American politics, but still talk shit and everything. So that's good. But to have that old school, I don't mean in like age because he's younger, but that old school type of politician perception that JD Vance gives, I think is good for the Trump ticket. And I guess now my only question with JD Vance specifically is he too close to the people that already love Trump? And this is a thing that this has been a theme with Guarantee News is it doesn't really matter. Like either this is the same with Kamala now, and this is what it was even with JD Vance. It doesn't really matter that you're getting the people that already like you to keep liking you. What it really comes down to is who are the people, and this is me included, honestly, not really, but like the people who don't know who they're going to vote for that are on the fence, how can you make them believe, go over to you? That's how it's going to make the difference of who wins, and especially in the swing states, right? I keep saying it doesn't really matter here, but especially those people in the swing states, Wisconsin, RNC, Kamala just had her first race there. You see what I'm saying? And I think JD Vance had the potential or has the potential to do that because even with that, because he's going to the middle class, blue collar, hardworking Americans that like to get off work, drink a beer, and I won't say anything more about that what else they could be doing. But he says it too in his book about what else happens, but I won't even say it. And those people, there's a Democrat line for that and a Republican line for that. And some of those Democrats could go, or more liberal, not liberal, but more left leaning, they could go to JD Vance. So that's a positive thing. But he's not getting young people. He's not like getting, like he's not really stretching the numbers or stretching the people that are gonna go to him. That's the first thing. After watching this, it's literally, I haven't looked at my notes at all. Let me look at the notes and just see what I said. If I can find it. Here is Biden out of race, JD Vance speech. Okay, here it is. Started off the speech really good. He's in Ohio, he's in his hometown. He basically just said thank you to Ohioans. Just said named a whole bunch of random streets. Like if I said 63rd Street, Pendleton Pike. Like he just basically said I'm home. You guys are my people. I love you guys. You guys love me, and I need you guys to vote. That's normal political shit. Like can't say anything good or bad about it. It was I mean, he did a good job of doing it. All right. Talked about education with kids and how they're being indoctrinated again. And these are all things I watched it. I watched it. So you had to take me for face value at this. If you don't believe me, you don't. He said indoctrination, changes with education are big with the Biden with the Trump and JD Vance ticket. We need to get back. He said we need to get back to teaching reading, writing, and arithmetic. Let's get back to common sense. So as far as education, like they say DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. I mean, I think that's just like a hot button word for people. I think they're just gonna go back to how it was when I was a kid. When the only time you learn about black people was February, and it's Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks. Like that's what they're trying to do with that. I mean, yeah, that's really no opinion that needs to be given. You either feel how you feel. You feel how you feel about that. China with manufacturing. This is something that I kind of agree with what he's saying is that we need to stop having so many things built in China. And he said something like, I don't trust a toy built in China, let alone medicine. I can agree with that. That is fair. There should be more businesses or things that are American-made products. Called Joe Biden and them crazies insults. He did the insults, but he did them in a way that's way more professional than Trump. Someone like me, I appreciate that because I just think like the insults and everything, they're funny in 20 Twitter videos, but like when you're watching like a 45-minute whole, well, in Trump lately, an hour and 30 fucking minute speech, like the insults are just kind of stupid. Like, especially if you're trying to like really get an idea of policy of like, or what this person's going to do with the country, the insults kind of just distract you and make you laugh, which is funny, but it's not what's needed. All right. Talked about how important it is to get people to vote. Of course, president needs to be grateful. Okay. Okay, this is the big thing too that he said. So he talked about how the president needs to be grateful and needs to love America, and we can't have an American president that doesn't, show respect and love for America. And he's saying Kamala doesn't show that respect and everything for America. I agree with that. I think overall, and he said that actually, it can be, I want to debate you guys live because you guys say smart shit, that is true. He also said this, and I agree with that. They need to stop letting China buy all that land here too. Like, that's why I said, like, the other country things, I can see how you can be stronger on the Republican side. Fair enough. Fuck, it's late. Who cares? I can see how you can be strong on the Republican side. So overall, I was like, okay, this is better. This is more professional. He's saying some, you know, I'm getting the hillbilly vibes, which is going to always make me feel a little nervous. But he's more professional than Trump. Some of the things he's saying I can agree with. And unlike Trump, where it's like if you try to listen, I say this on Guarantee News all the time. I want you guys to say this in the message or comment. Have you guys watched Trump talk for like 45 minutes straight? He babbles so fucking much. It's not the easiest thing to do. It's not the easiest thing to do. This was not a hard watch. I mean, from policy standpoint and everything, I didn't agree with everything, but like he makes sense. And another thing that's impressive about him where I can respect him, he clearly doesn't read off a teleprompter. And you can just look at Trump when he's looking at the teleprompter and when he goes off of it and when he goes back on. Like JD Vance is very well spoken, obviously educated. I think now he's maybe not the best pick because he's not going to get a lot of new people. And so I was rocking with it. I was like, okay, he's cooking, or he's making something. He's doing his thing. And then it's just like, he had to say this. He had to say this. And this was like, to me, like a couple of days later, I wonder how I'm going to feel watching it because I haven't watched it in a couple of days. I think I got the clip. If not, I literally marked it. Fuck the clip deck. This tells you like when I was watching it, how much I cared. It happened out. I have it in my notes at 2:30. Okay, let me see. Dang, I think it was 3:25. Like I marked in the thing where he says this comment. Fuck, what was it? Where was it? Dang it, I think I saved it too. Bear with me. Because this was just like some of those things with like the Trump where it's like, why do you have to say this shit? Like, bro, why does this get you guys excited? Like, because I know they say it because it gets their base excited, but it's like, come on, bro. Like, this shit's...
It is the weirdest thing to me. Democrats say that it is racist to believe, well, they say it's racist to do anything.
And right here, I'm not mad. I'm gonna pause so I can be so as clear as possible. Right here, I'm not mad. I'm just kind of rolling my eyes, but it's like, okay, you're gonna make this joke to these people, and the joke is gonna hit. I get it. Like, and Democrats call everything racist. Okay, this joke is on bounds for me right now. This joke is on bounds for me right now.
I had a Diet Mountain Dew yesterday, and one today. I'm sure they're gonna call that racist too, but
stop talking. It's still on board for me right now. Democrats call everything racist. I had a Diet Mountain Dew the other day. They're going to probably call that fucking racist. Stop right there. And he would have been cool. I would have been like, funny joke. Okay. Democrats do call a lot of shit racist. Okay. Then he just...
It's good. I love you guys. But...
And they didn't show it, but like after this, he's like points to the people in the front. He's like, they've been making jokes. They've been making jokes all day. They got me off focus. I love these people. And I would have loved to know I would have loved to be a fly on the wall to know what the fucking jokes were. Because that joke had them fucking laughing. And if them niggas, and where the fuck was he? Middletown, Ohio. To be a fly on the wall with the jokes. But again, it's the exact part where it's like, it's good. It's good. Like,
Democrats say that it is racist to believe... Well, they say it's racist to do anything. I had a Diet Mountain Dew yesterday, and one today. I'm sure they're going to call that racist too, but it's good.
I want to know what you guys are thinking. Am I reading it? Because when he says it's good, so you're saying that Democrats call everything racist. Let me just try to see how my mind works. Democrats call everything racist. Okay, fair joke. That's the joke you're going to say about the other side. I had a Mountain Dew the other day. They're going to call that racist. I'm leaning into the joke more. Okay. Then you kind of fall over and say, it's good. So you're saying the Mountain Dew is good, obviously, but a joke is he's comparing things. So you're saying like like I think this is how these people feel. Like, shit, it's a little cool though. Like I think that's what I get from this. Like even if the Mountain Dew was racist, it's good. So I'm gonna keep drinking, even if it is true that I don't want DEI in schools and I don't want to teach about, but it's good. I'm white. It's good. Like that's the kind of the vibe I get from that, and it's like, bro. I was rocking with you a little bit. Like, then you said that, and it's like, bro, these people are good for the side they're on, but he's not making any... The people who love Trump probably love that, think it's funny, and think that I'm overanalyzing. But, like, anyone that's in the middle or doesn't know, like, you're just going to be like... It's like you're saying racism. I don't know. I'd give it a B+. He's way better at speaking. He needs to do every rally instead of Trump. Way better at speaking, way better at staying on point, way better at speaking to their core base. But again, good rally, good first rally. You could tell he was at home. You could tell he was comfortable. That was the main thing that I would say is kind of like getting into the Trump jokes. Unburdened by what has been. Oh, damn. Shout out Grant. Yeah. But unburdened by what has been at ass. You text like Jack, don't you? Unburdened. That went over my head. And I'm always okay with, I'm News Garrett. So it's like I'm always okay with learning something. Maybe some little bit more context. I know this is probably I'm not getting into that. So JD Vance, B+. He talked about China, talked about all the major talking points, talked about education, talked about Kamala, talked about Kamala's past. Like, he did all the Trump speaking points and he did them in a professional way. Okay. So I would say all in all, this is better than Trump's. You don't see what I'm saying? Oh, okay. Yeah. Thank you for the explanation. See, that's like the older brother shit. Thank you. Okay, I get it. That's funny. Yeah, that's funny. Those are like some of the unfair criticisms with Kamala because it's like, why are you but they're funny. And that's another thing about Republicans like now, because they're run by Trump. It's not the Trump party. It's not the Republican anymore. It's the Trump party. Trump is so, oh, this is the business YouTube. Oh, okay. And let me stop saying your guys' names. My bad about that. People don't like that. I've heard. But this is the thing about Republicans, bro. Because it's Trump now. Like, they are funny. Like, you do laugh a lot, bro. Like I remember Celebrity Apprentice, bro. I remember, like, Trump is he is a showman, bro. And he's brought that into the entire Republican Party. Like the memes and everything. They're funny, bro. I won't say they're not. I like to laugh. I mean, they're just not serious either. They're like a good laugh, but they don't stick with me as like a serious place in my mind. Let's see. Now let's get into Harris's first rally, Kamala's. And I've been streaming way longer than I wanted to. Let's see. It wasn't this far down. Look at all the planning, bro. I be saving videos and shit. We're gonna stop talking about politics too, because I want to talk about the cold season because I'm fucking excited. And I don't want you guys look at this. It's coming. Pause. And I don't want you guys to be surprised with the rhetoric that's going to come from Garrett this upcoming NFL season. So I'm going to get you guys prepared for that now on Guarantee News. But, all right, let's get into Kamala. Let me look at my notes. So Harris' first rally. Joe Biden said he's going to – we'll get to that. JD Vance already covered it. Secret Service Director Kim Cheeto. Golly, I could be streaming for a minute. Okay, we're going to slow walk this. We're not going to rush because I technically don't have anything to do. So Kamala gave her first speech in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, which was interesting to me that she chose to go there because, again, that is where the Republican National Convention was. So it's like these next 99 days, bro, pay attention to the states everyone's going to. Those are the states they care about. Those are the obvious swing states. I've said it on Guarantee News a million times, so you can go back and find it, but they're going to go to the states that they think are important. She's coming to Indiana. She's coming to Indiana next week, I think, for something I have to read into it. Don't fucking know why. Don't waste your time here. Do not do it. I mean, Indianapolis, but like, okay, yeah, I'm not going to get on the line. All right, let me get up my notes for Kamala. I'm telling you, bro, I watched the whole JD Vance thing. I watched the whole, I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to give my opinion and also try to give the other side, but I'm not going to lie. So let's get in. Where's my Kamala notes? Harris, first president. Okay. So this is basically, I can say it's quicker than the JD Vance. I feel like this is what she's going on. I've been a district attorney. Well, first I'll say this. One thing that I did notice that I didn't like about Kamala, this bitch obviously, fuck. My bad. I got too excited. My bad. She obviously has like a written statement that she's starting shit off with that she's continually using. That is fucking weird. And I haven't seen anybody on Twitter saying like, bro, she said that same opening. Let me see if I can catch it real quick.
This state, and I know that the folks that are here are going to make sure you return her to Washington.
She does the same thing JD Vance does, which is obviously political shit. She's thanking Milwaukee, thanking to all the Milwaukee people. You guys are great. Love your city. Ass kissing. You got to do it on both sides. That's just normal. Skip through that. I don't need to say it. I forget how did I write it down exactly? Let me see. She says the path through the White House goes to Wisconsin. But she said, okay. Oh, she said, I think I know Donald Trump's type because I've been a lawyer, and I would probably put my records against his any day of the week. And I'll read those comments in a second. She said that like 3 times. I don't like that. Like, I feel like you're like calling me stupid or lying to me when you like, not lying. That's a bad word. I just feel like you're like calling me a little dumb when you're like you're starting your speech off of like the same, like obviously pre-planned thing. That's weird to me. And then let me read this. How do you feel about her being the nominee without a single vote from the people? She wasted her time coming here. Yeah, duh. How do I feel about, I said that. Did I say that at the beginning of the episode? How do you feel about her being, okay. This is how I feel about it quickly. Because it's not right. But it was the only choice without making Republicans get more power. If you have a Republican mindset, or you want Trump to win, you wanted them to do the open convention. And I said this, bro, you guys need to watch Guarantee News because I'm not going to go back to it. But this is what was going on in the Democratic Party, and I was saying this on Monday. There was like a Senator Dean Phillips who was saying that they need to like have a vote of like the top 4 potential Democrats, and then they need to do like 3 live debates and like do this open process. And that's the way it should be done, and that's the way that they should have done it months ago. I've already gone through the Democrats were obviously lying to us and trying to trick I've gone through that, so I'm not doing that again. They should have done it that way, and that would have been the right way to do it, and that would have been the way to promote trust, which the Democrats are lacking in with anybody with a brain right now is fucking trust. But let me get this straight. I said a couple weeks ago, you should not get rid of Joe Biden because it is a bad look and it's going to bring strife and pain within Democratic Party. And they were already talking about how people in the Democratic Party, they wanted Kamala, or they didn't want Biden, but there were some that didn't want Kamala either. That was a real thing. Like AOC said it. Dean Phillips said it. Chris Cuomo was on his show talking to people saying it. Like Barack Obama still hasn't like openly supported, and they're saying a lot of people from Obama's camp haven't openly supported her. Like there was a real thing in the Democratic Party where they didn't want Biden, but they didn't want Kamala. Listen to me though. And I've been recording for 36 minutes. You think you just found a code? That's another funny one. But fuck, how many stupid niggas make me lose my train of thought? Fuck, what was I saying? Oh, I'm a real nigga, so I don't lose it for long. But the thing about it is, something obviously happened when Joe Biden decided that he was going to drop out, right? I think that something obvious happened in the Democratic Party where something did happen in some dark rooms where there were people who were saying, we got Joe Biden now. Who is it going to be now? It's Kamala. And somebody with more power and more voice should shut the fuck up. It's Kamala. That I do believe. I don't know how to like really make that sound right, like because I'm not there where it's like I'm a political pundit and I can talk to Democrats and like people, like there's certain people that I'd like to talk to about this and like names because I know that something happened that was fishy. I'm not gonna lie about that, but I'm gonna say this is the only choice that people who are Democratic or want the Democrats to have a chance, this is the only option that they have. You're gonna get rid of Joe Biden. You have to decide who it is quickly, extremely quickly, because the longer you wait, the Republicans have more of a chance to have a legal battle against picking somebody. The longer you wait, the American people who are looking don't have someone to believe in or don't have someone to put a name to a face of the Democratic nominee. Like it has to be done quick, but the way they did it was bad. But what the fuck? You're going to talk about doing things wrong. Like that's just one of those things where you're just conversation starters. I can sit here on stream and talk for 45 minutes of weird things where it's like where Trump did something where it's like, was that the right thing to do? No, but it's the only, if you're like politics where we have a 2 political party system and neither one of them are 100% right and they all do things under the table that are wrong but that are better for them. I feel like that's something you just admit to if you're being honest and move past. So I guess I talked for like 10 minutes, but what was the comment that even made me start about that? How do you feel about her being the nominee? I feel like the Democrats are unorganized and they should have done this a long time ago, and there probably is somebody in the Democratic Party that could have been better than Kamala. That being said, Kamala is definitely better than Biden, because I can tell you one thing. Whatever you feel, I'll get to like what her like pitch is. Well, however you feel about her pitch, I'll tell you this. Sitting her and watching her speak, the excitement that she's getting from young people, even if it's just for a couple of days, she's raised over $100 million, and a lot of it was from first-time donors. Like, you cannot mince words about the excitement that has happened in the Democratic Party, and just how much better she sounds just speaking. Like, that is a fact. Joe Biden was a pretty fucking low bar, but she has made the Democratic Party excited. She has the potential, maybe a base of people that didn't care and didn't like Joe Biden and didn't want to vote. Maybe they now want to vote, but she's also going to get a lot of hate, and there's going to be a lot of people. So it goes both ways, but I would say, how do I feel about it? I feel like I wish the Democratic Party would have gone through this process months ago and done it the right way, but I'm happy that they didn't use them. Like, they obviously pushed Joe Biden out. I'm happy that they didn't push Joe Biden out and then just start arguing in public and like saying who is it going to be and doing all this other shit, because then I'd be on the news just talking about what the fuck is going on. I'd be naming random Democrats that you've never heard of, and that if you're a Republican, you'd be more excited. So I guess like that's how I feel. Ken comment, he wants to know, what do you think about Kamala's being a groupie? Bro, not anybody watching this, but I said this again, bro. You know how many whores there are? Not you guys. Put everybody watching the clip that's going to come out eventually from this. Your mother's probably a hoe. And you go on every Mother's Day and said she taught you everything you know. She's the best woman in the world. Your sister fucked your best friend probably. And if I try to talk about your sister, you're going to try to kill me. You know how... Bro, I mean, I'm not going to lie, bro. Yeah, her being a groupie, I don't like it. But is that really like a thing about her being able to be a president of the United States, bro? Trump fucks porn stars and pays them money to not talk. And again, with the Trump, even when the Trump thing was happening, when he was getting convicted, I was like, I don't care. Because, newsflash, I want to have a news company. If something comes out about Garrett and I can pay somebody off, I'm going to do it. That just seems like natural human instinct. Like, but no, I don't, like, no. How do I feel about Kamala being a groupie? I don't know, bro. I mean, like, what the fuck? I saw that video of Judge George Thomas. I'm not going to show it again where he was calling her a groupie. Like, niggas be haters, bro. Like, there's probably, like, who's calling her a groupie? Republicans are going to call her a groupie because it's what Trump and them do. It's funny. Fucking Democrats or some black men or people or, like, older people are going to call her a whore. I would say, like, the black men, old-ass men, like Judge Joe Thomas calling her a whore, bro. You're probably... Who knows, bro? Niggas be trying to fuck bitches, don't get to fuck, and then she's a whore. Like, there's so much with that it's like, again, I wish I was like a political pundit and had pull to talk to people. Like Judge Joe Thomas, like, I want to show it because I know it's going to give you guys a laugh, and I got to do what's right for the people watching right now and not the people who are going to watch later in the clip. It's going to give you guys a good laugh. When I see it, it just makes me think of a hating-ass nigga. I might have deleted it. I don't know. But Judge Joe Thomas, because it's like the whore thing, it's just like, bro, every day I see a whore that a nigga will go to war for. And if I call her a whore to your face, you're going to want to kill me. Every day. Like, you know how many niggas give voices to whores all the time? And you know how often in my life, niggas have been like, Garrett, chill out. Why are you scared of the hoes? Niggas, like, bro, that's one of those things where it's like being a whore as a woman, bro. Sometimes it's going to work for you in the right case, and sometimes it's not. But the judge probably, but to keep it a buck with you, it was Judge Joe Thomas, first of all. Like, Judge Judy, like, he's a TV judge. Like, if you ever missed school or played sick, you probably watch Judge Joe Thomas. Joe Thomas. Is that nigga's name? Oh, that's not his name. God. Or is it it's not him. Or is it this nigga? No, it's not Clarence Thomas. Fuck, I wish I could go back to it. I know I didn't save the video. You know what's cool? You know, Guarantee News. I didn't play the whole thing, though, because I was going to say I could go back to a past episode to watch it. But the thing with, like, saying, like, he probably tapped, bro, shit like that, bro, I would say he probably didn't tap and tried to. Like, that's what it be. Because if you tap the hoe, you going to be quiet about it. I guess unless he's, like, doing this for democracy and thinks she's really bad, but I doubt it's that. 9 times out of 10, bro, you try to fuck the hoe, she don't fuck it, then you be like, fuck that hoe. That's really what it'd be from Garrett's perspective, just like listening to niggas for 24 years. It usually be some shit like that. She didn't let me, fuck that hoe. 20 years later, she running for president. I'm going to go on TV and say she fucked her way to the top because she didn't fuck my big black ass. Like, that's the type of shit it'd be like with me. So, how do I feel about her being a hoe? Unfortunate. Never can support hotism. But it's like, bro, unfair criticism. That's like, I think, like, just, you guys can name stuff about how I feel about Kamala, and the first thing I'm going to say, I'm going to give a debate, I'm going to give an analysis of it, which I guess is stupid for some of the things you're asking. But, like, unfair, fair. She's fucking up the border. She's fucking up China. And other race relations and all that. And I believe that she's not going to help me buy a house. Fair. I won't argue with that. She's a whore. You found a coke. She says weird things sometimes. Like, bro. Trump said, like, you know, there's fair and unfair criticism of Trump. You know, that goes with everyone. But again, even me, if I was going to have a roast battle and just be of a mind and I had to pick who is it easier to make these unfair criticisms about and just dig under the rug, no cap, it's going to be the black woman 10 times out of 10 than the white man. That's not, like, that's, I feel like that's an objective thing to say. If it's not, please type in. What was I on? Oh yeah, Kamala. Her speech, yeah, I'm not gonna make a big deal about. I'm not gonna make a big deal about this. This is what her thing is gonna be, and I think it could potentially hurt her. Actually, she's gonna say, "I'm a lawyer. I'm a DA. I have been in here doing this since 2004, almost 20 years. I've prosecuted people who are making money to hurt the everyday people. I've prosecuted rapists. And this is what she's basically saying. I prosecuted liars. I prosecuted basically dickheads. She basically just said all the shit that Trump is and just said, I prosecuted like that. And she said, I know Trump's type. And do you want to have the convicted felon that's breaking the law? Or do you want to have someone that spent her career and got to this point upstanding the law? And that's what I'm going to do. And then she, you know, rallied the people and made that call. Same thing JD Vance did, but she does it in a different way. Go and vote because we have a lot of work to do because this won't be easy. She's addressing the elephant in the room a tad bit, not as much as I'm not going to get into that because there's so much political strategy with she's kind of addressing the elephant in the room and saying, like, you know, I just got here. We have a lot of work to do in 99 days. We're going to go knock on doors. We're going to go do it. She's doing that. And I think that could be bad for her because the Trump side, what they're going to do is you are a strict ass judge. You put a whole bunch of people in jail. The thing that she's gonna make a good thing about her, I expect Trump and them to make a bad thing about her. Like, Trump is gonna be like, this is an unfair country, this is an unfair system, and she is the head of it. You want her at the head of it, she's putting all these people in jail. So this is one of those things where I think, and I know this is her first rally. Whoever's talking to her and making her speeches and shit, they're gonna figure out all this shit out. But I think it's kind of interesting that her main point that's gonna like making people excited is also gonna be the main point that Trump and them are gonna, I'd assume, easily flip on them. So I'm interested to hear Trump's first time back at his first thing back at the. Oh, they're still talking about the Trump assassination attempt. I'm going to get to that next. They're still, I'm interested to hear about the next Trump rally. What are the things that he says about Kamala? Because he's going to make fun of, he's going to have the unfair criticisms. That's Trump. Those are going to come in probably like every 2 to 3 minutes. But like the quote unquote fair criticisms or where he's going to try to get people on policy or like how he's better than Kamala, I do think he's going to eat her alive, pause, which with this, like a joke like that is like no pun intended, but yeah. But I think in a debate sense, but this is what's interesting, and notice that Trump said he's canceling, he doesn't want to have the debate. In just back and forth rallies where the only thing that really matters is like your clips because no one ever watches the real rally, I think maybe it could be better for Trump. But on a debate stage, I really do want, because JD Vance and her, I think is a better matchup because JD Vance, like I said, I don't want to say educated because Trump is obviously educated, but JD Vance is just more buttoned up. Him against Kamala would be interesting because, again, I said about how well-spoken he is. Kamala against Trump, is one of those things where the Trump fans are gonna love it, but the people in the middle, it may be a good place for Kamala to win. Like, if I'm on Trump's side and I'm a Trump strategist, I can see why Trump is saying we want to have it on Fox News, or we don't. Like, he already said the one that was planned at ABC with Joe Biden for September, he already said he doesn't want to do that, right? And I could see why, because Kamala, she's a district attorney. She's a lawyer. Arguing and getting people, like, being right in front of people and, like, debating is what she literally is. It's what she's known for. That's probably, like, one of the only things that you can't argue about her ability to do. You know? Like, everything else is, like, a policy thing and all that, and if she deserves it, those are fair, like, things you could say. But, like, her ability to speak to people in debate, I mean, you just can't in right mind debate that. Trump, on the other hand, who is also, like, an interesting debater, I don't know if that's not a good matchup for Trump. Just like live television, seeing these two together, it's not the best for Trump. I wouldn't be surprised if Trump just doesn't do it. And again, if Trump doesn't do it, I'm not going to be mad at it because, again, I'm trying to be objective. Strategy. Why would I go up in front of this bitch who's I don't mean to keep calling her a bitch. Why would I go up against this woman who is literally all she's known for is putting people in jail and, like, getting people on the other side to agree with her as I'm promoting my case as well? That's a terrible idea for Trump. Biden, like, I'll tell you, like, in the thing, going back into the debate, don't want to go weeks back, I guarantee, because it was the nicest that I've ever seen Trump be on a debate stage, and while Joe Biden was making insults to Trump, that was one of the things I came the day after and was surprised about. Like, I know that that Trump's people said to him, listen, he doesn't have a mind anymore. Do not insult him, say these things, and let him make himself look stupid. Trump didn't really do anything. Like, Trump didn't have a strong debate performance, but nobody talked about it because Joe Biden had a performance that ruined his political career, depending on how you want to look at it. That's kind of a big statement to make, but it's arguable. You know, he had an easy dub, and they knew he was going to have an easy dub. That is policy. Why do you think Trump was okay? Why do you think Trump was okay with it being on, I think, ABC or having the people who did it? Why do you think he was okay with it being no live people there, which is what Trump thrives on? They say Biden does too, but that's arguable. We know Trump does at this point. I don't know what Biden could thrive off of. You know, that when you're not talking, the other person's mic. The only reason that Trump would ever agree to that, knowing Trump, is because him and his people knew that no matter what the debate stage was, he wasn't even going to light him on fire, Biden was going to light himself on fire. And the flip to that is the reason that Biden did all that is because they knew all of that would give them their best chance, and it still didn't work. And that strategy, smart strategy on both sides, and Trump, it would be a smart strategy move for him to never, ever, ever sit across her before November and get on the debate stage. That would be a smart idea. Now, Trump is Trump, you know. He seems like the type where if you talk enough shit and he hears people saying you can't, he's going to be like, you got me fucked up, and he'll do it, which would be good for Democrats, and he would fuck it up. Trump also does that as well, where I think sometimes his personality can get in the way of what I'm sure his strategists are telling him. That would be, but yeah, getting on a long line again. Kamala's just going to compare her history against Trump's and say convicted felon or somebody that withheld the law, and don't know how that would do with her. And I guess the line I was getting on with, it would probably be for the best if they never have a debate. It'd be the best for Trump. It'd be the best for Biden or for Harris if they did. Bro went off the rails. The judge probably talked about run me the convicted felon, run it back. Facts, I wish Joe stayed in so Vance and Kamala to debate. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you fucking do. I mean, but I wanted to see that too, honestly. Because Trump isn't ducking smoke. Strategically, yeah, he is. I mean, if you want to call it dunking smoke, like, because even from a strategic standpoint, it's not dunking smoke. Like, this is something that you guys should agree with. Like, all the stuff the Democrats are doing, I can do whatever the fuck. Like, we've gotten to the point now where Trump can get to that point where it's like, I can do whatever the fuck I want. Look at these niggas. Like, it's like after you slap a nigga, now if I punch the shit out of you, nigga, you slap. We breaking the rules now? Cool, I'll break them motherfuckers even more. Like, Trump does have that argument until November. So if he wants to come out and say, I'm not getting on a debate stage with this bitch, Shit, I gotta stop doing that. Gotta stop doing that. Okay. And I'm gonna have to cut those out the clips too. Okay. I'm not getting, if Trump wants to be of the mindset, I'm not getting on the debate stage. I guarantee he's already said he's not doing the ABC debate. So if the debate happens, they're gonna have to concede some to Trump. But again, if Trump, no. It's not ducking smoke. It's being it's in my opinion, being strategically smart. I mean, obviously it is ducking smoke, but it's like, bro, you know, I'm not the tallest guy, biggest guy in the world. If a nigga that's big as fuck comes up to me, and tries to fight in 2024 outside, I'm gonna talk to him and talk shit and walk back to my car and go and get my weapon. Am I ducking smoke? Technically, yeah, but I'm also being strategic to give myself the best chance of winning. And no matter what side, I'm going to always, respect that. It would be in Trump's strategical best option. They can't even prepare that nigga, because even when Trump's the type of nigga, I'm like this too, kind of, because I've completely thrown my notes out. You can go through something with Trump for 5 weeks. In the moment, that nigga's going to say and do what he wants. That's a fact. So let Kamala say one thing. Let her do one thing that she's going to try to do on purpose to get him off the rails. Whatever they trained for that nigga for, gone. He did that at the RNC speech. Like, they had this nice speech laid out for him. In the first 20 minutes, Trump sounded everybody said it. He sounded so good. Oh, he just almost tried to kill him. He's bringing unity. The people need to come together. He's talking about God. And then you could tell that nigga just said, I'm Donald Trump. I can say whatever. Like, it's like you can literally see it in his eyes, but why do I need this shit? I can say whatever the fuck I want, and these niggas gonna go. He's gonna do that. So yeah, no. He's technically dunking smoke, but I would say, being objective, it is in his strategic best option to not ever get on a debate stage with Kamala Harris. Trump would do a debate for sure. Maybe not all like you saying, though. I guess not all. I guess not all the shit where it's like, they're definitely not doing that shit again where there's no live TV and you're muting the mics. Trump's not going for that again. No fucking way. He's definitely not going for that. Trump would do a debate for sure. I mean, that's kind of like a political thing. You could, like, I guess I could, or not a political thing, but that's like a good place for me to do like a fuck, I can't think right now. Make a guess, I guess. I'll say he is going to do it because of Trump's personality. I'll say he is going to do it because I think Trump kind of listens to the media. I think that's some of the things that maybe make Trump good, is that he's so accessible to the people. Accessible. He has his true social. He's looking at shit. Like, Trump isn't just some, like, he's looking at stuff. So I think that conversation of him maybe being scared will piss him off, and that will make him do a debate somehow. But again, if you guys that like Trump, and if I'm getting paid, he made a point not to talk shit. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. I said, yeah, he made it a point for sure. Because they were telling him that, hey, this nigga doesn't have his mind anymore. Sit back so you don't look like you're talking shit about an old man. Let him look stupid, and you're going to look good. And he did it. And I think that was one of those things where Trump probably listened to them, because in the middle of the debate, he realized he was right. So yeah, I agree that he definitely made it. And if I didn't make that clear earlier, my bad. He definitely made it a point to not talk shit openly how he usually would about Joe Biden. And he also made it a point, or I think Joe Biden was like the more quote unquote Trumpy one, because insulting Trump and just doing outright insults. So yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with that. And that's a smart strategy. It worked for sure. Let's see. Here's a video of Dr. Umar says Kamala Harris is not for black people and calls her a part-time black. And I fuck with Dr. Umar. I watched this whole thing. I was going to play this, but I've been streaming so long. I'm not. I'm moving on to the last show. Because you guys, I'm moving on to the last subject before I get out of here. It's 10:30. I should have been in the gym. And you guys aren't getting 3-hour, 4-hour guaranteed news streams until I start getting paid. That sounds bad to say. Maybe eventually, but yeah, the 2-hour, 3-hour guaranteed news streams, they're not here yet. I could do it. I could sit here and talk, bro. I'm so good at this shit, in my opinion. I could sit here. I really think I could talk until 5 o'clock and not sound like an idiot. Have I sounded like an idiot? I know I haven't, but I'm interested to see what you guys think. How can Biden? I want you guys' honest opinion too. I'm thankful that my friends are watching, bro. Like, I probably said a lot of things you don't agree with, but I would like your guys' honest opinion on my ability to run a show. No cap. You know, it's only us in here now. This is like a friendship. Might as well not even be alive. This is just, you know, the clips are going to happen. So I wonder what the clips are going to look like. But yeah, how can Biden still run the country if he's not minister? That's like one of those talking points that is like, I like the questions though. This is good though. This helps me talk about shit. You know what I'm saying? All right, let me put something on the screen. Okay, Joe Biden. Because that's a good question that I think should be answered and has been talked about. Big Republican talking point right now. Which is probably, you know, why you asked it to me. I've been seeing that a lot. All right. Okay. Let's be realistic. Biden does not, first of all, Biden didn't drop out because he wanted to. They kicked him out. The Democrats absolutely kicked him out. If I was Joe Biden, I would go and take my rich money and I would say I'm not a Democrat. Fuck them niggas. And I only mention that to say Joe Biden, for sure in his head, just from all the reports that I saw for the last weeks, he thinks he can still be president right now for the last 6 months. For sure. And he definitely thinks he could have been president for the last 4 years. Or for the next 4 years. He believes that in his ability and he thought he was going to do the right thing for the American people. He only dropped out because, again, there is something that happened with Democrats where they pushed him out. And there was also something where somebody important said it is going to be Kamala. So all you people that want him out but don't think it's going to be Kamala, get in line or fall out of line or be pushed out because it's Kamala. So I say that all to say Joe Biden, like from your guys' perspective, he probably dropped, or he should have, or most normal people, I guess me too, he should have dropped out because he's not able to be president and he's not cognitively there. But to the Biden administration, he was getting pushback to the point where the thing that made him really drop out was the donors, like the George Clooney's and niggas saying that they weren't going to get out. It's America. Money rules everything. So I say that he's not going to drop out. All the Republicans, like I can tell you right now, any Republican that you see or saying that's trying to get him to drop out right now. Did my mic go off again? No? Fuck. Can you guys hear me? Did it go off again? Well, actually, I think I have it up right here. I had it up right here on my thing so I can see it. Hold on. Did it go off again? He's not going to drop out. All the Republicans, like I can tell you right now. Do I believe in his ability? Good question, Terrence. Yeah, holding me accountable, won't you? Yeah. Oh, no, I don't. Okay. Whoop-de-whoop. No, I'm not playing. That's a big deal. But no. He definitely does not. No, he should not be. He should not be president right now, and he should not have been president for the next 4 years. But I still know what I said a couple weeks ago of all the discourse and everything, getting rid of him is done. That is still true. The only thing I was wrong about, and with Guarantee News, I will always come and say when I'm wrong. Because again, my most important thing is to be objective in the best way that I can possible. But, no, yeah, that's true. I mean, niggas was talking about he's already dead. I mean, yeah, that nigga definitely may not make it through the year. Bro, he's old as shit. When you're old like this and you're losing your mind like this, no disrespect, you could die any day. Like, death is like, bro, you're having a conversation with death daily. No cap. Like, not even trying to be funny. I mean, yeah, it is really, he could die any day. That is true. But, I mean, this is what I'll say, because you guys are asking questions where it's like, and it's holding me to be objective. You want me to be objectively honest? It is fucked. Absolutely fucked. For sure. Neither one of the Kamala is better than Joe Biden, but neither one is still a Trump. Neither one of them is like, you know, neither one of them is particularly, to me, someone that I feel like even in my natural mind and as like when I turn my journalist mind to be objective, like I think I'm pretty in the middle. I'm more left leaning. I'm definitely not a liberal. Neither one of these make me excited the way like if we were this age with Obama, y'all depending on how you guys would have hated me. For sure. Because I'm the type of person, if a political person that I can believe in comes and even with like certain people in the city, because I've been looking into them more, and certain people I want to like start come on the but asking to come on the show. Like I do want to support people that deserve it, but I'm not supporting shit for real. Like I'm not supporting shit for real, like with what's going on right now. But I mean, we're fucked. No, Joe Biden, I do not believe, to answer that question where you're making me, where it's like, do you all caps believe in his, no, fuck no. Fuck no. No. But it's really, you're asking if you believe in the ability of his team. So how do you explain millions of people supporting him to run our country for 4 more years if we know his condition just hated Trump? Or do you think, because and if you're asking, I'm assuming that you're asking, fuck, you guys are gonna ask questions for all day, and I really want to talk about this court schedule. Yeah, you know, guarantee news, I'm always gonna be for the people watching. Okay, that's important. I'm for the people, for the news. I'm gonna do what you guys want. I'm gonna answer these questions because, all right. So how do you explain millions of people supporting him to run our country for 4 more years if all we know, so how do you explain millions of people supporting him to run our country for 4 more years if we all know his condition? My bad about that. If we all go to just hated Trump because I think a lot of people were of the mindset that it's Biden and Biden's thought processes being fulfilled by the people around him and his team. I don't think anybody voting for Biden was excited or made any, if you were being fair to yourself in your mind, like if you were being honest with yourself, because people lie to themselves. But for me, it was one of those, and I think for a lot of people, it was one of those things where Joe Biden has been in politics for decades. Anybody that's been around him knows how he feels, know what he thinks. And even though he's insane and can't talk on TV, he probably can give his opinion to a certain extent. Like, I don't think he's completely dementia. I'm basically saying that I think that the people around him would be able to accurately and truthfully depict what he wanted, while he would just be a shadow, basically a figurehead. It's disgusting to say, and it is gross, but it was against Donald Trump, and it wasn't that I hated Donald Trump or hate Donald Trump. There's just the policies that I care about, that I talked about, like, is it going to be easier for me to live and buy a home? Education, I don't care about because I plan on getting rich. My kids are going to learn what I want them to learn. So education, I mean, that whole but another thing with this is like, because I also see things like of the lens with Trump, where it's like, he's going to do a lot of things that I think are bad for black people. Again, I started the show talking about Sonia Massey. I'm glad I still have it up. Like shit like this. And I don't want to compare these two things because they're so different. And I know like kind of the looks on your guys' faces, but like, I plan on being rich in America, which means I'm going to be comfortable. I'm going to work it out. But I'm not one of the people that says as long as I get rich, I don't care. If that was the case, I could probably be easier to vote for Trump. I also want like the president that is going to do, and I'm not reading the comments that are coming through because if I do, it'll mess my train of thought up. I will get to them one by one. But I would say that if you care more, like as a black man, if I care what's going to be the betterment of my people economically, I can't vote for Trump. Just the miseducation of black people, the economic strife of black people. Those are things that matter to me a lot. And I think regardless of that, I had a good education. My parents made sure I was educated, and I'm going to be a business owner. And I wholeheartedly believe I will be a multimillionaire. So regardless of who's president, I'm going to be okay. But that would be like the main reason why I'm okay with having like an obvious shadow head as president. And I want to FaceTime you guys. Like, if you guys ever want to come on stream, because I want to back and forth, because I know some of the things I just said, like, you guys probably are, like, looking at me like I'm fucking insane. Which you can, and I get it. I think you're more on the right than you want to admit some... Shut up, nigga. Shut up. Let's see. Do you think Trump or Kamala give off more of a presidential aura? Like, I feel a president should be somebody everybody can look to with confidence. With what you just said, it's Trump. Because when Trump says, another thing he says at all these speeches is like, China has a healthy, like, this is like in Trump's words, and this is why he's funny. He said, I can't do that. I can't even do the voice. I'm not saying this. I'm Trump right now. I'm not saying this. Keep in mind, I don't want to offend anybody. This is what people have told me. China had a healthy fear of me. I was able to keep China at bay. I told the Chinese, whatever their leader is, sorry, I should be more educated. I told him, you're building all these nuclear bombs. Stop. You got a lot of nukes. Relax. You want to come to a baseball game? Let's come. And he was in Michigan. He's like, let's bring him to the Michigan. Like, that's the way Trump talked. Like, I do think people had a healthy fear of Trump. And I do think Trump is the type of man and the type of bravado that he does walk in these rooms and he's like, bro, I'm fucking America. Like, this is America. We'll bomb your shit. Like, you need to relax because I'm not fucking around. Like, that is Trump. So that's why I say, like, with, like, the other country shit, he does promote, and it's a... Okay, I'm not going to get down on that line. I'm not going to go down on that line on Guarantee News. I would talk to you guys about this, but I'm not going to do this where someone can come back and find this years later. I'm not going to go down on the other line. If you know where I was about to go, you know. If you don't, ask me about it. I'll tell you later. But Trump will give that air. But another thing about being president that I think is important is, again, I keep going back to that boring politics. I honestly think if I lived in the political way, Mitt Romney, I don't ever remember a Mitt Romney speech. I don't ever, like all those things, even like the Obama speeches were boring. It was just cool to watch Obama because of how regal he was. Like, you do need to have a certain type of professionalism and standard that you need to hold yourself to that Trump just refuses to do, for better or for worse. And I think that's why a lot of people like him, because he's providing something different, but he does it in a way that is sometimes very funny and entertaining, but also so unpresidential that I don't even understand. Again, like how people can watch him speak for 45 minutes, an hour. Like, it's very hard to do. So it's like, overall, more presidential, it's Kamala. Like, but because Kamala is going to do that. But at the same time, you see the jokes of you fell out a coconut tree. Like, Kamala, I mean, they're both, like, for the memes and stuff, it is pretty bad. That's a great question because, I mean, they both look bad on that sense, but I'm going to have to go Kamala. Because the only place I think Trump is presidential is in back closed doors when he's, like, saying, don't fucking play with me. And I shouldn't have this up. I need to have, like, I'm tweaking. I should have, like, my bad, I can't. Okay, I'm talking about the quotes, bro. I'm talking about the quotes soon. So, yeah, do you because I want to answer you guys as straight as possible. Kamala. And I know he dropped it, but they were still set to vote for him. Sorry, didn't explain this. Yeah, exactly. No, I get what you're saying, Kim, like, where they're still set to vote for him. The voting for his team part, it just felt like that's crazy, and it just means that he's I mean, yeah, it is. But that's my honest opinion. And again, anybody that's not lying to themselves, I don't see how they say anything else. That you're voting. Again, politics for 50 years. His team is people that he's trusted. I think that their ability to be able to fulfill what he would have wanted would have been high. And that's what it is. He would have been just like a shadow president, which some people believe that every president is a shadow president. That's a conversation for, like, when I started Patreon, and so you have to pay to view my shit, I would have that conversation because that probably is the case. But this is Guarantee News. I'm being objective, and I'm not going to do any conspiracy theories, so don't even get on that line of thinking. So for the near threat of China, Russia, and Korea, wouldn't you want to consider that for your vote? Honestly, again, this is one of those things where it's like, selfishly, and I think everybody as a voter has to do this. So if you feel like in your everyday life, and not some of the other big button things that are talked about, like, you need to vote for whoever you think is going to help your everyday life, right? I will say this. I have enough trust in whoever is president. Like, the Ukraine war is, and I guess some of the, and you're making me get into very nuanced conversations that were in the back of my head, but I never just talked about. The Ukraine war in the Israel world, how much has it affected my everyday life, right? Well, we're giving so much money to them that maybe if we weren't, but where would that money be going? Like, there's such a line of thinking where I almost wish I did have someone to piggyback off of and kind of talk about ideas. Because my mind, I mean, Jack said it a couple of days ago, like, I do go everywhere, but okay. Let me just slow walk this a little bit. So I stop going everywhere, right? Let's just go off your question. Let me go back and find it. So for the near threat of China, Russia, and Korea, wouldn't you want to consider that for your vote? Absolutely yes, because I think the way that other countries see us and the other countries do or don't play with us absolutely affects my everyday life. And I think where we send our money, where we send our troops is absolutely important. I can't help but also say with that is, like, my middle class family, no matter who is at, like, Afghanistan, back in the day when Obama was bombing shit all the time, Joe Biden pulling everybody off of Afghanistan, which you cannot say the way he did it was rushed and bad. Like, all through all of those different war things, my life has pretty much been the same. And I think that's a testament to, no matter Republican or Democrat, the strength of America, the strength of our army, and just the do not fuck with us that we have. And I think Trump leans into that in a way that is kind of comfortable, makes me feel more comfortable. But I think even with Kamala, no one is going to really play with America. The thing with that is where we're sending the money to. And I question if we're not going to send the money to, like, because we shouldn't be sending all this money to Ukraine, but are we going to send it? If we're not sending it, it's going to go somewhere. And is it going to go to somewhere, like, is it going to go to like big oil and for digging and stuff? Because that's not going to help me either. And that's going to fuck the environment up. Or is it going to go to, you know, education? Is it going to go to affordable housing? Is it going to go to like things that I care about? So it's like, the answer to your question is it does make a difference, but I have so much faith in America and just the America on both sides that I don't really necessarily think that regardless of who it is, there's going to be like a war, like a big war. And that could by not being very naive of me, but that's kind of my thinking of that. Like if that was like a humongous thing to me, I mean, even if it's not a humongous thing to me, like you should lean more Trump in that way. If that's like a very big thing for you, that is a fact. I'm not going to make any qualms about that. But again, my life, regardless, I've seen wars. The only war, and this happens when I'm 24 and I'm reading every day and I'm much more educated. But the only war that I could question it actually affecting my everyday life is the wars that are going on right now, because everything is so fucking expensive. And every day I hear about inflation, and the next news story is we just sent this much money to Zelensky. So again, that's my answer to that. Trump foreign policy is slept on. They would laugh at Kamala, but they wouldn't. They wouldn't laugh at her, but they wouldn't, not to her face at least, or not on TV, not anywhere where anyone could see. They probably would laugh at her like alone, but that's, again, like, no matter who it is, like, there is gonna be a certain amount of respect. And I think Kamala, bro, like, she has to be a strong woman, like, regardless of, because even logically, like, to be a public figure, you have to have a certain amount of strength and a certain amount of thick skin. To be a DA and to get where she has, like, I think like any one of us, if we sat down in a room with Kamala Harris, she would demand our respect. I think the same thing of Trump. So I think just her ability to speak, I hope that she has, like, you know, that serious air to her in these moments, because everything we see, she doesn't seem like she has a serious bone in her body. But I don't think I don't think there's anybody that is, I don't think they're laughing in Kamala's face to her face and just disrespecting her, because I think she demands. And I don't think and when I say demand, just not like an angry person just screaming, I mean like demands, because education and the way she promotes herself in these rooms, I don't think you could laugh at her or just not take her seriously. Okay. No more questions. I'm moving. I've been talking for 2 hours, and it felt like it's so easy. It's good for Garrett. Okay. Just keep asking good questions. And I don't want to just I keep wanting to do this with Twitter, so you can't just see my stuff, especially when I make these clips. All right. I'm just going to put this. Oh, let me just cover this really quickly. Kim Cheadle. Okay. Am I going to post a clip of this? It's not as newsworthy. I'm going to say it for the news because I think it's important. I do think people maybe go back and watch this afterwards. Secret Service director, and I'll get back to the questions. I just have to go through everything because I do a bad job of like going through everything on my episode plan and then feeling bad about it afterwards. So basically, Secret Service, Kim Cheadle, there was the Donald Trump, let's just do this fast, okay? Let me try to do this as fast as I can, because everybody watching probably already knows, and I'm probably not going to be breaking any news or giving anything, like any type of analysis that's like fancy or like cool. I'm just going to report right here. So Secret Service Director Kim Cheadle was on the stand testifying in front of Congress on Monday. They basically ate her ass alive, bro. Talked shit about her, asked her hella questions. She didn't answer any questions. The conversation got on. It's like, why is she not saying so many questions that you should be able to answer? There is an open FBI investigation where you do feel like maybe she can't be completely upfront. But then there's also the conversation is who is above her, or there's so much stuff and even with getting more into this, I can't help but talk about the people who are making decisions behind. Who is telling her, like, somebody told her before this what she can and can't say, and she obviously stuck. Kim, you help me with my even thinking, looking back on this. She obviously stuck to that, to her bones, and then the next day she came out, and a whole bunch of Congress people in the House were saying she needs to, calling for her to step down, and she ultimately decided to do it on Tuesday, yesterday, the very next day, right? And I saw some reports, and this was Chris. I like Chris Cuomo a lot. If you want to get an idea of like maybe a journalist I'm starting to like, I do like Chris Cuomo. But he was like saying, or he had somebody on his show that was like saying like she already knew she was going to drop down and this was a plan and this was in motion, right? Because what happened with the Donald Trump assassination should never happen. Completely disgusting. Don't need to go through all the way that it could be, that it could have been prevented, that it wasn't. And something weird did happen, and someone has to be the face of that, right? Someone has to be the quote unquote poster child, and someone has to eat shit for this. And it's the Secret Service director. That makes sense. Was it directly her fault why this happened? Probably yes so, but also probably some of it not yes so. But it had to be her as a Secret Service director. But after this, and you guys can, Kimby, you watched it because I just watched some videos. I won't lie, I didn't watch this. The one yesterday I watched a lot, but it wasn't as entertaining. The Congress clearly didn't have the mindset to grill that man the same way they did her. But no, fuck, I keep losing my train of thought. What was I on? Oh, yeah. There's obviously something that went down with that, but after her speech, like, the thing with these Congress things is we're supposed to learn something. We still have so many unknown questions about why this guy did it, and we still have so many unknown questions on exactly how this was able to happen when it could have been so prevented. And the fact that 10 days, I think it's 11 days, 12 days now, somewhere in that range, we still don't have an answer. The day it happened, I didn't want to say this live on stream. I came on one of probably the most exciting moments of my young journalistic career when I'm a millionaire and older. It will be a moment that I speak about, is when that happened. I said I didn't want to say it for the sake of like being a conspiracy theorist, but the moment that it happened looked like that it was weird. Something happened with that. Now I'm not going to get into what but something that wasn't a lone skinny 20-year-old white man getting up and doing that. I'll say that. And 10 days after, and not the fact that she was so secretive, but the reason she was so secretive and who is telling her to makes me believe this more. But all this gets into more is that something definitely weird happened. And if something weird like that can happen once, I think beefing up security, something weird's gonna happen, and there's people behind it. Something weird, you know what I'm saying? Okay. So should she have been kicked out? Yeah, someone has to take the blame. But should the blame 1,000% just have all gone on her? I doubt it, honestly. I doubt it. But again, structurally, as the Secret Service being a thing, you're the leader of it. The buck does stop with you. And the leader, a team, I mean, there's a saying that a team is only as good as its weakest point, but the team, everything starts from the team, from coach, leader, whoever you want to call it. That's what creates the culture. That's what creates everything that falls down. So yeah, again, she probably already knew, like, she was probably talking to people. You knew you were going to step down. You knew that you were going to get grilled. You knew this was going to happen. She probably was shitty, but she knew that it is what it is. Like, from her perspective, unless she's like one of those people that was in on it and like wanted it, and again, that's a different. I could talk about this for a whole. Like, I probably should start streaming every day, but that's another conversation again. But there's a lot weird with this, but I'll say she had to do this. It had to be her. They had to have that moment for the American people where Congress just grilled her. It's the only time where Democrats and Republicans stick together. So there's that and that. Commander Spanderingbeck, all I'll say is, she better have a strong VP she wants to win. I mean, that's a fact. That's a big conversation, too, because, again, J.D. Vance and Kamala would have been good. There's probably a Democratic that we don't know about that as soon as they name them, I haven't done the research on some of the names they're naming, but there's going to be a Democrat that comes out. There's probably some Democratic House member, probably a senator. That is a good matchup for J.D. Vance. And I'll say this. Trump presumably picked J.D. Vance, not specifically, but a big part of it for how he looks against Kamala. Now it's Kamala, Donald Trump, and J.D., you know what I'm saying? now the Harris campaign has their choice to do that. They're going to pick someone who they think can look better than JD Vance. So you're right. You're right about that for sure. That is fucking news, bro. Damn, I feel good about this episode, bro. Talked news for like an hour and 54 minutes. Think I stayed pretty online. I think I can get some good clips from this. Like, these are other things I think about. I'm excited about this stream. Got to make everyone like this. All right. Let's get into the USA Today has released their 2024 projections. I'm going to not try to talk about it. It's an hour and 54 minutes. I'm going to try to get out of here at 2 hours. This is going to be fucking shit trying to download this long ass video. Pause. So, all right, we can get into a couple things, but I'm going to go through the main thing with this because I could do like a first take. I could get a first take like episode of just this whole list. But let's get into, I'm so excited, bro, for all the things I'm hearing about the Colts. And what people are saying about them. It's hard for me to type and talk at the same time. I'm trying to get better at it. Just go to ESPN. Go to ESPN. All right. And I'm not going to go through game by game. I'll just say, I'll go quick with this because I can be long, but this isn't Garrett's football show. Colts 11-6. They say the Colts are going to be 11-6, and they say the Texans are going to go 9-8 and finish third in the division. So they're basically saying that C.J. Stroud is going to have a major sophomore slump. And they are obviously going to think the Jaguars are going to bounce back from the weird year that Trevor Lawrence is going to have. I don't think that the Texans are going to have a slump. I think they're going to be a lot better than 9-8, just over 500. The Colts, I think they can win the division, and I'm excited that everyone sees this. It's the only thing it is if Anthony Richardson is able to stay healthy. And then with the conversation of should Anthony Richardson change his style of play? Absolutely not. He just needs to play a little bit safer. But the way he got hurt and most of the injuries were weird plays last year. But the Colts being 11-6 is fucking exciting. The Texans being 9-8 is a little unrealistic. I think they're going to be higher, so do with that what you want. Super Bowl 59 winner, Jets 12-5. I've been seeing that people are saying that Aaron Rodgers is going to have like a comeback season. That is crazy. I do not think that's going to happen. I do not think the Jets are going to win in the Super Bowl, and I don't think the Jets are going to even win a playoff game. With the Steelers, I'm telling you right now, on Garrett's Football Show, don't be surprised. I'm a Steelers fan and a Colts fan. I always say it's the Steelers first and the Colts second. That is not going to change in 1 year, but it is going to appear to have changed. When you watch Garrett's Football Show this upcoming season, and as I start talking about football more, you're going to think that I like the Colts more. That is not the case. I like the Steelers more. This year, I'm more excited about the Colts. I just want to make that clear now so people aren't talking shit. I'm posting this clip as well. So in 2 months, I don't know how people say, you're not even a Steelers fan anymore. You don't even like the... I got the Steelers shirt on. Don't fucking play with me. That being said, it will appear on Garrett's Football Show that I am more of a Colts fan this year. Okay. Let's go on. Chiefs first, 13-4. I don't see how you don't have the Chiefs getting back to the Super Bowl. Haven't seen anyone able to beat them. I mean, I guess I have to stop talking because I'm at 157. There's a lot more I can say with that, but that's where I wrap it up. Packers at 13-4. No. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. Bears at 9-8, making the playoffs. Do not think that's gonna happen. Okay. And just to wrap up, Texans will be better. Colts will be this if they're able to keep Anthony Richardson healthy. Anthony Richardson to not play. The AFC North, this is fucking disgusting. Browns will not be over the Ravens. Steelers will not be last because of the Steelers. The Bengals, I will say I do think the Bengals are going to have a comeback year. I'm comfortable with the Bengals being number one. I just think all this is different. I think so, yeah. All right. Yeah, that's guaranteed news. On a Wednesday, July 24th, 2024. If you watched a second, thank you. If you watched in 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour, thank you. Have a great rest of your day. Be safe. The world is fucking crazy. Like and subscribe to GS Studios on YouTube. That's GSTEWDIOS. That's G Studios on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. Follow me everywhere. Again, it means the world to me, everyone that watched, even the clips, blah, blah, blah. Like and subscribe.